Yo, Duel here. If you're wondering, my voice sounds fucky because I got done angrily singing. I am still pretty angry. Oh, by the way, this is gonna be another one of those feely TABG ones. You'll likely tell from the title or whatever the fuck I put here. That's to say, hey, probably gonna go over some serious shit. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know where it's gonna end up. I'll probably play for a bit of time. I don't know, I'm shivering. Very cold, very, very cold. I should probably close my window, but I'll go to sleep soon, so it's alright. Maybe. I need to be up, it's 11 o'clock. I need to be up at 4 a.m. so I can feed my dogs. Then I'll likely go to sleep and I'll go wake up and go watch Iron Lung. Some shit like that. I don't know. Anyway, this is likely going to be one of those more feely ones. That's to say that, hey, clearly, we're likely going over a lot of bad shit today. It definitely nothing you really want to hear about if you're not in a good mental place, so you click out now. If you're wondering what that's going to go over, maybe going to go over some suicidal thoughts, definitely going to go over self-harm. And probably a lot of other shit in that territory. If you're wondering, I haven't played TABG in a while, so this is my first game back for a while as well. That is to say, sorry, Bee-Eater. Genuinely sorry, actually. But, I didn't change my name. I still have B-Tray. So we'll see. Hopefully I don't embarrass him too much. I know I have more shit to apologize for having done today. I definitely... there are some days where, it's easy to let yourself go and to lose self-control, and so you'll start being an asshole. You'll start laughing at everything and, being a real joker. And it's, not great. Not great. Should have more control of myself, but that's never gonna happen. Come on. Anyway. This is to say that I'm, less angry now that I've started the video, but a few minutes ago I was fucking livid, and so I did not natural self-harm things pretty bad. Not actually. I tried scratching, but I don't have nails, so I just punched the ever-loving fuck out of both my arms and then my thigh. If you're wondering where that's ended up, the only thing that hurts right now is my left arm. That is to say, it never does do anything. I don't think I've ever bruised myself. I'm not sure if that's just whatever. Anyway, you get it. You likely don't want to hear much about it. Before that, I think I had... It's weird. Sometimes, I haven't been dealing with it as much, but it's definitely been more happening in the last, few weeks, but it's rare to have a night like this where we really feel so unhappy. I feel definitely not in a great place. Oh, yeah, hey, I'm saying these things. I want to say, it's not a cry for help, man. You don't worry about it. I have this shit handled. Even if it sounds like I don't, I do. I've been going through this shit for years. So don't worry about, checking up on me. I am fine. Do not worry about it. Everything is, it's not good, but I think the words I'd come up with, a month ago is that, although I'm definitely struggling, I am definitely struggling, but I don't need help with it. I've been going through this for years. Or rather that I'm suffering, but I'm not really struggling. I'll put it that way. But what the fuck was whatever. Today was one of those days where, we feel very happy and then everything comes crashing down at night. One of those days. It's a pistol only. It's not the greatest feeling, but it's alright. We'll handle it. We always have handled it. I'm handling it right now. So I guess that's something. Anyway. I felt the need to really record this, because, I don't know. There is no real need. I guess I want to talk. Because I think that's the one big thing I wanted to get off my chest. These have never been cries for help. And they never will be. I don't tend to look for support from strangers on the internet, and if things ever got that bad, trust me, I have good enough parents, I can go to therapy. Not like I think it would help. That is definitely a thorn in that plan, but I could. I definitely could. I don't... I do like talking to friends and all of that about these sort of things, but... I would... There's a guy there. Prefer to talk to... I don't actually think it matters. Talk to real-life friends, talk to friends on the, you know, online, I don't think it makes much of a difference. An ear is an ear. Okay. Anyway. I wanted to... There were a lot of things I didn't really go over last time. Not like it's very necessary to have gone over them, but I felt like I should have. Yep. Yep. Anyway, I felt like I should have last time. It's last time especially, and it's gotten better. This is why it's actually on my mind. But last time I was, you know, I've for the last few years kind of been struggling with the fact that, you know, for my stepfather, I love the man to death, but he is, in all respects, in all regards, a macho man. The type of guy who you would say that, hey man, or like, you know, if you ever came open about your depression to him, he'd say something to the tune of, there are kids in Africa starving, or why aren't they depressed? And you know what? Great question. Well, I think I've actually tried answering that to myself many times over the years. I think, I mean, obviously depression isn't as simple as that. I'll leave it at that. I won't try to, you know, I forget what the word is, so I mean, I'll look for it, but not for long. But I won't try to, like, you know, spew shit at you for the next while. It's not really necessary. But in short, that's not as simple as it is. Anyway, type of guy to be like that. And, type of guy where if I complained about anything, typically he would say something, or maybe he'd make some offhanded comment, and I would just feel worse. Pretty bad shit. Today, or well, a few days ago, he talked to me about my progress in college. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've been procrastinating, like a lot. And it, you know, every day of procrastination, it's another day that reminds me, hey, you could have done something today. You could have done anything today. You really are a disgusting fucking failure, worthless sack of shit. And those memories, they keep playing on, and it's not a fun thought. But they do play on. And, oh, we're aiming too high. Okay. I mean, he's running a lot. I don't... Okay. I don't feel like I played that fight very well, hence why I'm kind of surprised at the whole running away thing, because I don't think he had to run away. Hey, no Japanese. Another Japanese player. Let's not be stupid. Wrong slot, by the way, if you're wondering. He had a lip beats. Where is he? Okay. Anyway, I know he's gonna die in air, but I was expecting him to say a slur, and so I'm actually pretty content that he didn't say a slur. But yes, he was going to die in air. I did shoot him, and yeah. So clearly whoever's at the bottom of the hill doesn't know the game as well if they're trying to snipe with the revolver. Because I don't think revolver actually... Oh, wow, I'm amazed I hit that. Well, we are recording. Oh, wow, you did not heal up, did you? Okay. I'm a bit surprised by essentially everything that just happened now. I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway, he's the type of guy to, again, about my stepfather. He's the type of guy to be the macho man. He, you know, why do you feel sad? I mean, just like smile, sort of thing. He would never say that, but it's the sentiment you get. And I guess he's been through his own shit and he really doesn't like thinking, is that guy trying to snipe me right now? Yes, yes he is. He still is trying to snipe me. Yeah, okay. I assume I'm hearing a liberating Barrett or something. Almost. Well, not almost. We didn't play that well. We played that like a fucking idiot. But I also wanted to play that like that. I felt like I enjoyed that. Definitely not my best showing. Anyway. This is to say that, you know, I've tried talking to him about things before, and they never really go well. And... Well, a few days ago, he actually talked to me about, you know, how am I doing in college? How much progress am I making? Because I stay in my room a lot, so I'm very much a recluse, and I really don't, you know, go downstairs often. Part of it so that I don't have to hear bullshit. But not all of it. I do like being in my room. It's a nice, comfortable place. And he seemed very understanding, and he seemed understanding of the fact that although I'm, you know, I'm definitely looking for work, I'd like to be in work. He understands that, you know, every day that I spend procrastinating, not working, even though I feel disgusting for it. I feel disgusting for every second I'm not studying. It's time that I'm spending being happier than I would be if I had been stressing about everything. Because I stress a lot. You know, if there was one thing guiding me, it's well, not wanting to let down other people, but it's that feeling of, you know, not liking what I'm doing, not liking things, and wanting to change them because of that. You know, it's a lot of shit. I don't know what exactly I'm saying. Words are coming out of my mouth. They likely are coming from somewhere, but you'll need to give me a minute to process what I'm saying while I'm saying it to you. Is that a minigun? Am I pushing a guy with a minigun right now? Of course I am. I don't know why I wouldn't be pushing a guy with a minigun right now. I thought I saw a minigun. I did. I'm happy with at least our aim. It's been somewhat better. But yeah, been very frustrated with that, and so I'm happy it's changed. I heard recently that his mother, very recently, she passed away, and she was, it's always a weird thing, these sort of things, because she was a nice woman to me, from what I've heard, from what I've seen of her, from the times I've talked to her, even during and before dementia. She seemed like a very nice person. But the account I heard from my mother was very different. She said that she was a witch, that she was a really bad woman to her, and that she did a lot of things to get between my mother and my stepfather back when they were kids. And I hear that, and I hear that, you know, in that decaying state of mind that she had, not, I can't imagine what that must be like. It must be fucking horrible. But she was returning back to racist tendencies of asking my mother why she, because she's brown, why she wasn't in the field or things like that, or why she wasn't like working on the lawn, why she came inside, things like that. And well, it reminds me, because today I got the message that my uncle is, he had a stroke. Now he's old. He is taking care of my grandmother, but he's old and these things happen. But it's not like he's an alcoholic. If anything, in short, it seems that from what I've heard, he had a heart attack, which pushed a blood clot from his heart to his brain, and that gave him a stroke. And I hear that, and I think that, well, okay, if these symptoms have been going on for days, he's a dead man. There's no way about that. He is, as nice of a man as he was, he is either coming out of this a vegetable or he's coming out of this greatly diminished or dead. And that's not a fun thought. An even less fun thought is that he didn't have insurance. In no time in his adult life did he ever visit a doctor. And so I hear that and I think, well, I can only wonder how long he's been unhealthy for. And I also hear that and I think, if he was flown to a hospital via a helicopter, how much is that going to cost? Because that is not cheap. Okay. Weird, but okay. Thank God for 2 shield grenades, am I right? Okay. Also, them letting me stand still. I mean, they threw a pretty good implosion on, or a splinter on me. If I stood still, I'd be dead, but I also have eyes and ears, and they do work occasionally, I like to think. And so, I think that was a very questionable fight on their part, but I also understand it was a rat. Sorry, Bee Eater. Okay. Anyway, I hear that and I don't know what to think about it. You know, whenever my friend, I think I talked about this last time. I had a friend and I played Factorio with him. I think I even at some point played TABG with him, but I played a lot of shit with him. I played Terraria with him. He was a very cool guy. Very cool guy. Even as far as I am into my degree, I feel he knew way more than I did about computers. And yet he never went to college. Yeah, in fact, I think that if he had a choice, he'd have likely dropped out of high school. I heard that he showed up to his prom wearing a hoodie and a shorts. And I hear that, and I think, I mean, simultaneously, this guy clearly didn't give a shit, but also I have a lot of respect for that. Someone who doesn't give a shit about, you know, those sort of norms. I do enjoy that a lot. But I say that because, you know, his grades were constantly low. He had poor attendance to work. In fact, a little before he passed away, he was fired. Because he just didn't show up enough. My sister had worked there with him. And he was such a cool fucking guy. And as I said, he knew more about computers than I did, but he didn't go to college, and really it seemed that either he didn't care where he was going to end up in life, or he didn't know where he wanted to be. Oh. Sorry to do that to you, brother. Oh, it's Sprout. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry to have fought Sprout like that. I'm sure Sprout was not happy about the way I played like a rat that entire fight. Anyway, very intelligent guy. And honestly, if he had given him any more thought to himself, he'd likely be off to great places. Did I actually hit that? Maybe? I might have. It's that guy from earlier. And, you know, I always say this, that, you know, he was a literal diamond in the rough. He was a very intelligent man in a group of people who I would consider fucking idiots. He was a man who was so well-reasoned and so well-spoken for a man who hung around racist fucking skinhead-looking sacks of shit. He was a man who didn't act like it, and he hung around a bunch of drug users and all of that, and you couldn't really tell. And all of this, you know, he was in these horrible environments, and he was just such an incredibly well-reasoned man, but out of fucking nowhere, I mean, I guess he had been doing it for a while. He had gone to a party, and although he was trying to get someone to try talking him down from it, for a close friend of his, for about 30 minutes, he decided to go ahead and grab his keys while drunk, and I think he, from what I heard, crashed right into a wall and died probably fairly quickly. And I say that because, you know, on the thought of my grandfather passing away, he really wasn't that close to me, and I wasn't that close to him. And so a lot of the time I spent sad about my grandfather being passed away was time spent thinking about Ethan, about my friend. Because my grandfather, you know, the hospital he went to fucking killed him. They gave him, I believe, insulin, and they didn't check his blood sugar, and he just died. But he was sadly on his way out. I think whether we liked it or not. You know, he had signed a DNR, a do not resuscitate, and he'd been drinking himself to death, eating nothing but sugar, and he wasn't in a good place. He had kind of shoved away everyone close to him. He was, in his life, a really just bad person to my family. But I still remember him as a guy who was kind to me whenever I was a kid. And I say that because by the time he passed away, there were no loose corners. There were no loose ends. He had lived his life. And for my friend, shit, he still had a Factorio world. That was right when the DLC came out. He still had a Factorio world. He had plans with everyone, and he was a very talkative guy, very involved. And, you know, a lot was lost when he died. Yes, I did just whiff 23 shots. And I don't know, it was... It ended up being that I could only go to one of their funerals. And so I decided that, you know, my grandfather, he was a veteran, he'll get buried, and my friend was not going to get buried. He was going to get cremated and then put in a house somewhere where I probably can't break in any day I want to. And I can visit my grandfather's funeral, or his grave. And so I went to my friend's, and I mean, it was such an unreal fucking experience. It really was. I mean, it was a closed casket. There, one day I was hearing about his death, and I was like, "Is this a joke? I've never seen my friend post about something like this. This isn't like him." And so I call my friend. I ask, "Hey, what's going on?" He passed away. Whatever. Whatever. But he had passed away. And, you know, then the next day I had heard about his funeral. Then the next day I was at his funeral. I was at his funeral on fucking Halloween. And doxing myself one detail at a time. I don't know. You know, things, they moved very fast with that, and I don't know. I wonder where he'd be today, but I guess that isn't where life had led him. It isn't where it leads us all. How philosophical. It's, I don't know. It was sad. It was very sad. And I say this because I've been thinking about death, you know, of my family a lot recently, and it's a sad fucking thought. I mean, like, you know, it's my uncle. And then I guess I have 4 other uncles, I have 4 aunts, and then I have a mother, and how many of them are, you know, I guess next, and I think it's a sad fucking thought. It's a horrible fucking thought. Because he was in good health. I mean, I don't know. As good of a health as you can be without having gone to a doctor to find out if you were. Anyway, I've been very angry about politics recently. Very angry about politics. I think it's been disgusting to look at the news and see what new anti-American bullshit is being passed off as the new conservation of what makes sense. But I don't know, every time I think about the news, I think about you know, it'd be nice to have change, but I don't know how much change will happen in such a corrupt fucking society and such a... At least I can still vote. At least I can still vote. I remember back when I was Republican. You know, we all believed that, hey, it's like a cult. We all believed that, you know, we're the ones who do our own reasoning, and they aren't. I mean, I guess Democrats aren't to an extent as well, but, you know. I just... There's a lot. There's a lot with that. At least I've been happier recently. Today was not one of those days, but... You know, whenever you ride a high so much, it's easy to come crashing down. And so, I was laughing my ass off as B was trying to... Oh, Courser's in this game. Was trying to teach us, or to show me Limbus Company. And you know, I'm not currently in... I'll put aside everything I did, all the times I laughed. I'm not very invested in the story. And it seems like a lot of that game is story. And I'd like to get to the gameplay, but the gameplay is also like, you know, it's just numbers on a screen. And even if it is just dice rolls, holy mother of God, is it just so many numbers, so many things on screen. I could learn it, but I don't know. I'm more into Terraria right now. New patch came out, guys. Come on. And so I'm much more invested in that. And so trying to invest myself into a story that I don't currently give a shit about. I'm sure I could in the future, but I don't currently give a shit about it. Ah. We got hit by a Barrett spray. How sad. Typically people don't hit. Really? We get to respawn. That's crazy. We didn't play that fight very well. I guess neither did they, but maybe if they played better, I'd have played better. I didn't put much, I think if that guy didn't hit that, they'd have likely died, but I mean, I guess we didn't play well, and it's coping. We're pretending that, oh, we could have done it, and we could have, but we sure as hell didn't. I don't know. I've been stressing about school. It's a lot easier now to put my mind to working, but I haven't actually done that much. And so that's been stressful. It's stressful to think about, you know, every day I'm wasting doing nothing, like, nothing. I guess I'm enjoying myself a bit more, but what's that mean if I'm just putting off what I need to focus on? But I have time. I can do this, and I know I can. It's gonna be a struggle to actually want to do it, to actually put my mind to it. It'll be a struggle. It'll be a struggle. But I'd like to do it. I'd be very excited to get through all this shit and to finally move on to new things and enjoy myself. But it's been stressful. It's been stressful trying. Who could have guessed? But I want to do it. I do want to do it. It's stressful that every time I talk about it, it's, I'm always being asked, are you sure you want to do this? Why? I mean, I heard you were really happy about civil engineering for a while there. I didn't give a shit. You know, it was a fad. I was watching someone talk about their job in civil engineering. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But my job's always been... It's always been going to be computers. It was always going to be something computer related. And I'm happy that it will be computer related. It's a lot more interesting to me. By the way, if it isn't clear, we're in a bad situation. The people I've killed have not given me enough to feel safe with the next fight that's going to be coming. I see that crate right there. Very good. Deus Ex Machina. We're just gonna get sniped if we keep walking around here. Are you trying to snipe me? There's someone off to my left. Really? Oh, we got sniped by the same guy earlier. What a shame. I don't feel he's good, obviously, but I feel sad that I've died to him twice now. Because I don't think he really played well either of those times, but how horrible will live? I don't know. Why are we queuing in regular? We don't have to do that. I don't know why computer keeps sending our fucking IPs. I like this button, but I get the feeling it's letting B collect even more IPs and, or not B, computery. And I don't know. I don't like that thought so much. I know it don't matter much, but I'd like to believe that someone wouldn't know the exact city I live in just from me playing a game or while pressing a button. But that's landfall for you. I don't know. I've been stressed, but we've been putting it off, and it feels easy to act out and to do things, but you know, I don't. I talked about this last time. I never lash out. I try my best to not lash out, and whenever I get so angry, I always lash inwards. And you know, I've tried talking to people, and a therapist never really helped me. I can't really talk to my stepfather. My father, he's a caring asshole, but he's still an asshole. And I could talk to my mother, but it's not right to put her through that. In the past, I've tried talking to my sister, but she's so stubborn, and you really can't. You know, I think the most insulting thing I had heard was that all I need to do, maybe my anxiety is actually just narcolepsy. Maybe my depression would be solved if I just took more magnesium. Even if that was true, that you're telling me that my entire personality could be changed by one chemical, that's insulting. It's very insulting. It's like telling me that, you know, nothing of what I know is real, nothing of what I know is true. It's probably just me. Maybe you're just low on magnesium. Why don't you drink some water? I don't like it so much. But, you know, I can never talk to her about that sort of thing because she's so quick to worry. And, you know, if you tell her that there's a dog on the street, she doesn't hear that there's a dog on the street. She hears that there's a dog that's about to fucking die. And to an extent, yes, but that goes for everything. You know, I'm not depressed. I'm probably, you know, right on the verge of killing myself. And everything is taken to its extreme, and it's like, dial it back. Make sure you look at these things not as you hear them, but as what they are. And I don't know, I felt somewhat insulted hearing her talk about, like, she was looking up symptoms and causes of heart attacks and and strokes, and I think he had an isocephalus, or whatever the fuck, stroke, and it's like, heart attack. I don't remember what it was. And it's like, hold up, wait, maybe it was cephalus, given that is like relating to the head. But it was some weird word that she wasn't pronouncing correctly. She was trying to say like ice skate or some shit like that. I think it's just, anyway. And I realized after what's going on, but she, you know, so quick to try to solve that sort of thing, and it's like, there's no solving there. You know, we can try to find out what he had, or, you know, what the doctor might do, or has he tried doing this? Listen, that's not gonna work. It's, you know, you have to take these things as they are. But that's unfair of me to say. That's unfair of me to say. I don't know it. I don't know it as well as, I don't know what she's thinking as well as she does. It's just she doesn't know what I'm thinking as well as I do. I miss being a kid, man. I miss being able to be a dumb, stupid fucking idiot and getting away with it so much. It was nice back then. And now it's all porn. I don't know, man. There's a lot of shit. I think I'm not sure if I talked about this last time, but I keep trying for hookups, and I don't want to fuck people, man. I don't want to. No matter what, no matter how you know, in the moment I get, I don't want anyone. Fuck every one of these fuckers. You know, I'm not that type of guy, no matter how much I want to be. I'm not like that, and I really don't want to be like that. You know, I don't want to go around fucking whoever and getting herpes on my dick like my father. I'm good. I'm very good. Man, I remember that. First time when my mother figured out that my father was cheating on her. She figured out because we had come home from my grandparents, and he didn't come along because he's an asshole. I guess for more obvious reasons nowadays, but he didn't come along, and she comes home to see the dishes are done. He would never do that. He's a, like, lazy sack of shit. I think he's probably changed that somewhat nowadays, but he's a lazy sack of shit. He would never do the dishes. And seeing them clean like that, she made her suspicious, and come to find out, he was cheating on her with a prostitute. I guess had been cheating on her multiple times, and I remember, you know, that talk. I remember getting up from bed and seeing her. Fucking hell. Really? It's Kanan. I was wondering who he played with. I should have killed him. Maybe I shouldn't have let them. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed so quickly. What a shame. I hear Kanan's an asshole to Turd Strider, and that's why, you know, I want him to not play the game and not be happy with playing the game. Also because they're wearing green camo, and I think that's the most loser shit you can do. Anyway. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? I don't know. I was going on about sex and things like that. Maybe. I don't know. That shit tore up so many friendships, and honestly, I think I'm more of a recluse now than I've ever been. I had my friend, he reached out to me recently and asked me what's been going on, because I haven't talked to him in a while. I haven't talked to most of them. And I tell him that it's mostly the same. You know, I've been enjoying games and, you know, pretending that I've been doing anything. I haven't been. But, you know, to an extent, I don't mind this. I don't mind the, you know, being in my room playing games. I enjoy this sort of thing. You know, my parents failed to see how I could, you know, I must be horribly depressed to be in my room so often. No, this is just my comfortable place. This is just where I am when I enjoy myself. I mean, I could go outside, and I like to go on walks sometimes, but, you know, as I said, every second I spend going on a walk is a second I remind myself that I could be studying right now. I could be doing anything with my life. Anyway, I like being on my PC. I like, you know, all the games and shit. Sounds so childish, and it is. But I don't know. This is what I'm accustomed to, and I've always enjoyed this. God, he had a lot of ammo. Maybe I should go grab that M16. I don't know exactly where it was. Found it. Where the fuck did you go? Okay, you're down there. If you're wondering, I'm not killing them off to be rude. It's because he had a rare jump. I had good reason. He had something I wanted. Common regen. That'll do a lot. I don't know. I've always enjoyed this sort of thing. You know, I always wanted my career to be something with computers, even if they don't, like, they question, like, oh, you must, it must just be for money. No, this is what I enjoy. Maybe not this in particular. I mean, I don't want my career to be TABG, but I wouldn't mind something. My real career should be a politician. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think they'll ever elect a progressive in this part of the country. I don't know. There's never been a very good education here. And so people don't really think for themselves, and therefore they just vote like their fathers do. or you're told to, you're told via advertisement to think one way until you hear anything else and you're like, ah, that's gotta be bullshit. I won't believe a word you say. Someone already said something to me first. Go to the next guy. I already hired a roofman. I don't get it. I've always been very into politics. I've always liked it. Even if I wasn't always intelligent. I mean, saying that implies that I am now. I'm not. I've always been very passionate about it. You know, I like to use word and say funny thing. Okay, I just wasted an implosion. One single headshot. I forgot that I already have a shield grenade. I tend to talk to myself a lot. I think that's probably why I talk so much during these, but I tend to, talk to myself a lot, argue with myself a lot, and so if that one argument that I've had in my head this whole time ever was to come to fruition, I'd be very well prepared for it. Is that a cursive frog? God damn. I got giga beamed. I had sex, but not in the positive direction. I got beamed. I'm still sad about this death. I feel I could have done better, but we didn't. We didn't play well. I wish I had. Fuck those guys. No? We don't feel like it today? Have we decided it's done? Okay. I guess we have done our talking. I don't know. I started this recording out very angry, very unhappy. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, I tend to get very angry, and I tend to, be all in that. I guess... I don't know, I haven't been playing TABG much recently. I've always been playing a lot more Isaac. Some Isaac, I've been playing some, I mean, a lot of Terraria right now. I can't wait for Tmod Loader. Tmod Loader to get updated, that'll be nice. But yeah. I think the biggest reason I wanted to make this is because I felt bad that I was, one of his favorite games is Limbus Company. And it's hard to, like, handle it emotionally to say, like, I'm not sure I'm in the state to play this right now. Like, not, like, emotionally, but, like, I'm not going to be able to appreciate your favorite game right now. And it's kind of hard to put that and to say that. And so I just kind of laugh, and I point and laugh like, I give each character a voice. Did you just say what I think you said? And things like that. And it's, to me, it's funny, and I believe it is funny, but if it's your favorite game, it's disrespectful. And it's not really meant to be that way, but it very much so is. But I don't know. Today's been a big day with the, people dying news, and... Yeah, okay. It would have been... If only I hit all my shots. Yeah, okay. Come on. I'm trying to get it all done in one mag, if you can't tell. Yeah, okay. God damn it. What are the people who are... I mean, it's going to be a private video, so who actually gives a shit? Um, I don't know. It's definitely a lot less feely than the last one was. I mean, that's clear. I didn't have as much to talk about this time. Didn't really, wasn't as passionate. Who cares? Who gives a single shit? I guess I'd mentioned that I'd talk about like, suicidal thoughts. You know, a little before this, I just sat at my desk and immediately had those thoughts like, God, I want to die. God, this feels fucking horrible. God, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's never been the type of thing where I always want to reiterate, just because it's suicidal thoughts doesn't mean it's suicidal plans. It's nothing like that. It's just, oh? Well, okay, barely. I mean, we got it all in one mag. That's nice. Look at that, guys. We did it. But just because it's like that doesn't mean it's like that, you know? Not that bad. I mean, it's not fun. I ate some disgusting I mean, it wasn't... My brother tried getting me hooked on this app called Too Good To Go, where, you know, restaurants can sell their shit before they throw it all out. And I was worried that, like, you know, the restaurants are gonna, like, this food would go to the employees after. But now they're spending money on it. Now I pay lower price than usual. I get it might not be, like, good anymore, but, like, as in fresh. But still. And... by the way, if you're wondering, not legitimate because that guy took a lot of damage already. Oh, come on. Anyway, it was pretty bad today. First time I tried it, it was pretty bad. Y'all might have better results in your area. But from the one I had, it was... I mean, I wouldn't even say it was mid. It was decisively bad. It wasn't disgusting. It wasn't just like a bit bad. It was, or it wasn't like just like, so. It was bad. It wasn't good food. You know, it's not the type of thing I could give to my dog because it'd likely give him diarrhea. I can't put it outside because it might kill the plants or it might kill worms or a raccoon will just come dig it up. And I won't eat it because it's not good. And so it, you know, the whole point of the app is that you eat the stuff so that the restaurants don't throw it away, and here it is sitting in my trash can. It was not good. I don't know. Part of me wonders if I should get back into TABG again. I guess I don't mind, you know, Hey, look at that. I guess my aim didn't get much worse, or really change much. I think it's probably better than the last time I played. I guess the way I'm playing isn't as good. I remember that first fight in particular. I really did jump out in front of 4 people and pretend I could win. I almost did. No, I didn't. I didn't almost win. The only way I could have almost won is if Vampire heal blocked some more for me. And my aim wasn't good enough to cause more heal blocking. Ugh. Yeah. The rest of the fights, I wish I could have won against Kanan, but I didn't play that well. And honestly, I was surprised he didn't push me. I knew he was going to go pick up his friend, but, like, he could have definitely killed me. Like, he could have 100% killed me. And he didn't. And so I pushed him, and then I got myself killed. Against the guy with the Barrett. First fight, I just, you know, probably should have grenaded. Second fight with the Barrett, I just got shot in the head. I mean, obviously he'd have listened, because I was making a big old ruckus, but I also managed to hit 0 shots against the guy I was actually fighting. And although I thought to launch pad, I didn't. And that's what caused me to get Barretted. I could have probably won that. It was a shame I didn't. That last guy with the AK fucking beamed me. I was pretty surprised to see that. I actually, you know, whenever... Like, okay, his teammates did not play well. I didn't play well. But whenever you get beamed that fucking hard, you gotta respect it a little bit. Like, you know what? I'm happy that guy hit that many shots. I don't think he would typically hit that many shots, but I'm very happy he did. It's always nice to see people pop off. Even if it's all at the cost of my skull getting fucking battered. It's been so cold here. But I like it being cold. I do. Anyway. I'll probably stay up for the next few hours, go feed the dogs, and go to sleep. What time is it? Yeah, it's 11:40. That's actually, I could probably go to sleep. Maybe. I have to be up in like 4-5 hours. Something like that. Something like that. And that won't be so bad, but you know, if I don't wake up on time, those dogs don't get fed and those dogs don't get out of their cage, and because they're like young ones, they'll piss all over the house if they're not in the cage, and probably kill the cats. They need to be trained first. And it wouldn't be right if I was to do that to them. That is to say, not let them out of their cage on time and feed them on time. You know, I opened, as much as I know my parents hate the cats in their room, I opened the door so that my dog, my old dog, can sleep in there. Because it wouldn't be right to have her go sleep and be sad outside. You know, she's an old dog. She deserves to be at least happy in her last few years she has. God, it just reminded me. I think it's sad to think that people would put their dog down. I'm sure that there's a lot of times when, you know, a dog is in enough pain that it probably does make sense. But if I was in a wheelchair, or God forbid anything worse, I mean, you're not killing me. Don't kill me. I want to, like, even if I'm suffering every day, don't put me down. There's more of life to experience. Anyway, I have that to attend to. I'll watch Iron Lung. Maybe I'll tell y'all in the Discord how it went. This one goes out. Pour one out for the Alfred going off about religion rant. I finally gonna openly start giving him strays for that one. I don't get that rant. I'm sure he has a very, very, I mean, he's clearly gotten some personal experience to be as passionate about it as he is, but I will always be of the belief that people should be able to have their religion, even if you don't think it's you know, like a intelligent religion to have. They're right. You know, it's very offensive to tell people, you know, the God you believe doesn't exist. Anyway, I don't know. I keep missing church. What's today? Thursday. I keep not going to church because I'm just not awake or I'm not paying attention on time. And I'd like to go to church, even if I don't think the Lutherans preach anything like worthwhile. I'd like to go there and, you know, and be there. It'll be nice. I don't think the old people will likely like a brown man in all black showing up again, but they can fucking deal with it. I'll wear whatever colors I fucking want. My sister specifically was getting very unhappy with me for you know, not wearing the sweater she got me, and to be fair, I should wear it, but like, it's not like I only wear all black. My mother got a shirt for me, and you know, she was asking me which one she wants me to return, or wants to return, or I want her to return, and which one I'd like to keep. And I mean, genuinely, all of them were no, but I kept one because I don't want to be that much of an asshole. But one of them, it was as simple as there's a pocket on it. I like my shirts to be very, very bland and, you know, all black, and if anything, a tiny logo, maybe across my chest or maybe on like one breast. I don't want it to be a giant thing. And so it's a whole sweater. It's like it's a nice gift, and I'm happy she got me it, but I'm not gonna like probably wear that. It's very thoughtful of her. It's very thoughtful, and she's been very thoughtful recently and very kind. But I wear all black, and that's what I do. Maybe I wear blue jeans, but you know, all black is what I'm accustomed to, and it's what I feel comfortable in. I like wearing grayscale, and you know, it's how I feel comfortable. It's how I feel the most comfortable. You know, it used to be like an expression, like, I'm so depressed. Now it's, I mean, I could wear white, maybe get it stained, maybe have to worry about all the dog hair. But I prefer not to. I prefer to not look like Serious Sam. Anyway, we finally breached 1 hour, not intentionally, but I'll let y'all go. I won't keep you too much longer. It was good. See y'all soon. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I won't. I'll be talking to y'all later. Bye-bye.